So Trump was back at court yesterday morning, and he decided to go after Letitia James, the Attorney General in New York, who caught him on fraud charges. And he's been doing this. He goes to a court appearance, and he goes outside the court, and he starts like making political attacks against prosecutors and against judges, et cetera, et cetera. Now, there's already a gag order in the Judge Chutkan case, and he's not allowed to attack any like court staff and anything like that. But she left a lot of loopholes in the gag order because he's running for president, and he's of course allowed to talk about Washington, D.C. and Joe Biden and all these things. But basically, it's like you can't personally go after people in the court or on the staff. And it's reasonable. Will they actually enforce the gag order if push comes to shove? I don't know, man. I don't know. I tend to doubt it. Doing a pretrial lockup of a former president seems like they'd be too afraid to do that. But he's already violated the gag order like a number of times. Anyway, here he is outside of the court in New York City, and he goes after Letitia James. Listen to this.
We made a loan. We were very happy with the loan. We got paid back. There were no defaults. It was a very good transaction, and he would do it again. He was a very powerful witness. And we have other executives coming in from banks that will say the same thing. This is a disgraceful situation. This is an attorney general, Letitia, that went out and campaigned on, I will get Trump. I will get Trump no matter what. I'll get Trump. I promise I'll get him. We have 2 tapes on her now that have come out since the trial because people took tapes of her because they couldn't believe her ranting and raving like a lunatic. But just as the Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, and she shouldn't be allowed to be Attorney General. She's defrauded the public with this trial. She said that Mar-a-Lago, she convinced the judge that Mar-a-Lago was worth, in Palm Beach, Florida, the most expensive land in the world, I guess, and the most expensive houses definitely in the world. Mar-a-Lago, the biggest house, the most spectacular place in all of Florida, was worth $18 million when it's worth approximately, could be close to 100 times that amount.
Unbelievable. So look, he's lying about this too. The $18 million number is what the Trump people said it was worth to pay a low tax bill. The most it's worth, the highest estimate, is $75 million. They've said it's worth $1 billion. They've said it's worth $1.5 billion. He said it's the most expensive property in the world or something like that. And they also don't tell you that, like, for resale value, it'd be a lot lower than you expect because it's a very restricted property legally. Something like 30% of the money for the sale has to go to some conservation thing in Florida. It can only be used as a club. It can't be used as a residential property if it's sold. So they're just lying. He's lying. And again, it's testing the gag order because he's going after a court official. I don't know, in the Judge Chutkan gag order is probably for that case in particular, so I don't know if it applies to the Letitia James one. But man, he is skating on thin ice.
And based on her convincing the judge that Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million instead of $1 billion to $1.5 billion, which would sell very easily, which we've already proven, but we'll have people come up and say that and prove it, the most important people, the brokers that make the sales. But based on that, he ruled against me. He ruled fraud. I mean, he said fraud. They are the fraudulent people.
He's unbelievable. I mean, this is just such a lie. It's all such a lie. We've gone through all the details and the specifics. He said his apartment was 30,000 square feet. It's 11 square feet. It's 11,000 square feet. It'd be funny if it was 11 square feet. Standing like, this is Trump's apartment, little gold, like, porta potty size thing. Anyway, he said it was 30,000 square feet. It's 11,000 square feet. He told these brazen, over-the-top, ridiculous lies. And guys, the important point is the reason he did it. He would undervalue the property to pay low taxes. Then he would overvalue it when he's trying to sell a property or he's trying to promote a property or if he's trying to get a loan from a bank on favorable terms. That is bank fraud. He also did insurance fraud. He also did tax fraud. The list goes on and on. But look, he's doing his rant against Letitia James. Then we also got this news. Trump posts article doxing New York Attorney General Letitia James' home address. Wow. Judge Engoron needs to expand his gag order to protect New York AG Letitia James. I mean, that seems reasonable if you ask me. Trump posted an article from far-right personality Laura Loomer attacking New York Attorney General Letitia James with unconfirmed speculative allegations. And then here's the tweet right here. Her fake case against me should be dropped immediately. My financial statements are extremely conservative, and her numbers were way off, including the fact that she undervalued Mar-a-Lago, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, post the link. In the link, apparently it includes her home address. In the article shared by Trump, Loomer posted a New York City buildings violation form exposing the home address of James, publishing the personal contact information and/or home address of an individual is called doxing. Now, look, doxing is actually not illegal. Maybe there's some states where it's illegal, but in many instances, it's actually not illegal. But does this violate the gag order? Again, I don't think so, because it's probably for the other cases that the gag order was made. But there should certainly be a gag order over this too, because this is dangerous, man. This is dangerous. There's now going to be a lot of threats. Lord only knows what happened. There might be people who show up to her house. And she saw this and responded to it and is not backing down. Basically like, look, homie, you committed fraud. That's the end of the conversation. You're the biggest liar in here. And it's already been proven you committed fraud. Now it's just a matter of what your sentence is going to be. And remember, he's going to totally lose his business license in New York. It could be up to a $250 million fine. So he's in a hell of a lot of trouble. And that's why he's this desperate. And that's why he's throwing Hail Marys. And I mean, this is like very, very threatening. So will there be legal consequences? I don't know. I tend to doubt it. But at the same time, it goes without saying, you shouldn't dox the frickin' prosecutor. That's crazy. But this is all he has now. All he has is political attacks and veiled threats and outright threats because he knows in the court of law he's in serious, serious trouble. All right, guys, that's the show. I love y'all very much. Everybody do me a big favor. Please click like. Please click subscribe. We're trying to still grow the channel. Helps in the algorithm tremendously. Doesn't cost you anything. If you'd like to support the show, Patreon link is below. That's deeply appreciated. Never had a conversation with an advertiser. You guys make that possible. We have a dog barking in the background, which is fun. Thank you very much, barking, Stinky / Phoebe. And we'll wrap it up with that, guys. I'll talk to all you guys tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.